news or snooze? You ready?
Yes.
All right. Bennett's going to hit me with 3 quotes. I'm going to decide if they're newsworthy or snoozeworthy. Hit me.
We moved it from Wednesday to Monday, so it'll be 1 quote and 2 factoids. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because we do not have near as much quote material as normal.
But we'll start with a Cignetti quote. He's being asked about last week when he was pissed about practice. Maybe the practice wasn't quite as bad as maybe I communicated, but the subsequent practices were much sharper and we are ready to play.
Newsworthy because it's hilarious, but in reality, it's snoozeworthy. The fact that you mentioned this, he used a double maybe. Maybe the practice wasn't quite as bad as maybe I communicated. Maybe I blew it out of proportion, and I don't know. It's absolutely hilarious that he's just like, did I say that? I said that. Because it was a David Teal question. He was like, the question was something along the lines of like, last week you said you didn't have the guy's attention and you needed to get the attention. What did you do that week in practice after that really bad practice you talked to us about to get their attention? And Cignetti was kind of like, we're all trying to figure out who said it was a bad practice here, folks.
Yeah, it's like, how'd you get their attention? I always had their attention.
I never lost it, but you said, maybe.
Pretty funny coaching tactic there to get the guys extra fired up by just being like, you were bad. And they're like, we were actually fine.
All right, hit me with the next one.
Number 2, ESPN's Football Power Index has JMU ranked 84th. I think it's a predictive metric, but it has them 84th nationally, and it has them, I believe, in the bottom half. I think they're 8th in the Sun Belt in FPI. What are your thoughts?
Snoozeworthy. Predictive measures haven't really figured out reclassifying schools yet, so take all of that with a grain of salt. The most important thing is, I believe, according to like the USA Today ranking 133 teams, JMU's like 26th out of them all, and Alabama's like 25th. So JMU could beat Bama. This is the year we want Bama.
That's true. I still don't want Bama, but the other
quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. My final factoid. Both starting linebackers are hurt.
Okay, we need newsworthy, but we need better injury reporting in college football. Look, I don't want to be that guy and be like, if there's a multi-billion-dollar industry in sports betting on college football. If we're going to be allowed to bet on college football, I think there needs to be some sort of injury transparency in the entire process, because not only were they both listed as starters on the 2 deep, neither one dressed, and there was no, and Cignetti would not report on either one's status pre-game or post-game. This isn't honestly, this actually might be a competitive advantage, like at this point in the season, more than a quarterback. But like, we need to know these things. And I'm not trying to be like that type of like sports bettor who's just like, we need to know so we can adjust the lines and I can make a valid bet. But at the same time, like, there needs to be some sort of injury transparency in college football, because the fact that Curt Cignetti can just not answer injury questions and then list Walker and Jones as starters, not even have like an injury like nothing, and then they don't even dress, is just wild to me.
It's also one where like students are connected enough, and even like us at times, where you might be able to get the inside information before it's out and like pass it along, which people very much don't want, right? With sports betting.
Yeah.
That's a concern with like coaches and other things. So that's a need for transparency, is so you don't have that, illegal passing of inside information. But until you are forced to do that by the NCAA or your conference, you're not going to do it. But yeah, I was surprised that I didn't think Walker was going to go, but I was surprised that Taurus Jones couldn't go. Also, Curt Cignetti's injury update today was no, he does not have one. So we have no idea what their status is. Shout out to Aiden Fisher and Trent Hendrick for playing pretty darn well in their place.
Pretty damn well.